Hi, this is LJ Motivate for you. This is the second part of the how children develop jealousy. If you go back to my YouTube channel, you're probably going to find the video I uploaded concerning how you can spot jealous people and how jealousy actually even just started. What was the root cause of jealousy, right? People usually don't feel jealous if they don't feel a threat. So many children unfortunately develop jealous spirit or the art of being jealous, unfortunately, because they were never validated when they were growing up. They never they never felt seen and they were never appreciated for what they were able to do, for their own accomplishment or their achievements. It could be any little thing that the child was doing, but unfortunately maybe they just had that one critical parent who needed to push, who needed more. And but not knowing that most times in life, for you to be able to motivate a person to become better is by celebrating little achievement that they've achieved, celebrating little effort that they put in. It's not about what you did, it's about the effort that you even put to accomplish your task or your goal. That's what matters. So, and many times, many children develop jealousy because sometimes when there's a new child, a new arrival of a newborn baby, maybe the child used to be the attention of the house. Maybe they used to grab their parents' attention all the time. They used to have a lot of time spent one-on-one with their parent. Maybe they used to do things together, or maybe you were more seen and heard before a new child came into the family. So after the child, a new baby was born, the child felt unseen, felt unheard, and it was like a lost child that was no longer the center of attention. So that actually even make many children develop, start becoming very, very jealous. And another thing that makes some children become very jealous when they also now grow up, because when their parent does not appreciate what they do, does not appreciate their effort, but seems to compare them either with their siblings or with neighbors' children, or maybe when they go visit a friend, and maybe when their friend's mom is probably talking about the achievement of their child, their parent don't their parent kind of have this kind of cold behavior towards them. Or maybe when they go home, they start telling the child that, can you see, let me just make this name up, can you see Laura's mom? Laura actually does well at school. Laura, get first. Laura gets A. Laura is this. Laura is that. Or John is this. John is that. Or Abraham, do well at school. So this makes the child feel like not appreciated. It makes the child feel like maybe he's not good enough. These are one of the reasons that children grow up and they lack self-esteem and they lack confidence and they become so unhappy. And when they see people, maybe they're even good better than that person, that are doing things for their life, or maybe the person is just okay, maybe good on whatever thing that they're doing, make the child start becoming very, very envious of that person or jealous of that person because they don't, or they never felt good enough, they never felt appreciated, they were never validated for for what or who they were, except maybe. And sometimes so children start becoming jealous because their parents actually love them conditionally, not unconditional. So when a child is growing and you notice that it's only when they having the top grade, it's only when they doing something, achieving things for their parent that make their parents happy. So you make the child to think that the more you achieve and the more you compete with other people to achieve and be better than other people is actually what what shows love. So the child become confused, and when they see or they find themselves in an environment that maybe people are doing more than maybe them, they feel threatened and they feel angry and resentful. So it's very, very important for us to let our children know that they are good enough, that we celebrate them, that their achievements, we celebrate their achievements, and to show to them that we love them unconditionally, because a child shouldn't be loved really based on what they provide, based on what they give us, or based on what they make us look like in the outside world. The child should feel loved. That's the reason why many children cannot emotionally connect with their parent. Sometimes we don't understand when we see some children that they act in the same way, and we're thinking, but why is that child like that? Because the child has no connection. The child does not feel connected with their parent because their parents never show them unconditional love. The love they got from their parents was a conditional love. It's a love that is attached to what you can make me look like, what you can make me feel, what you can make people see me look like, how you raise me in the eyes of other people. So that actually make a child just keep on even forgetting about himself, his needs, his want, even abandoning or even just neglecting his emotions, and just keep on trying to win for the parent. So it's not like not for the child anymore, but for how do I make my parents look like or feel, because they will never be validated. So this creates a lot of tension, a lot of jealousy. And just imagine when the parents actually compare their children with one another and butt them, create that competition. It makes the children even not to even love each other anymore. They lose that connection of that could have maybe established a relationship of brothers and sisters, or sisters and sisters relationship. They actually develop that spirit of enviness. So they start looking at each other's lifestyle, or start looking at each other's achievements to weigh how successful one of them or they are. So it's like they're chasing after each other. So the other one will probably have tension on himself or on herself, like, I don't want him to think that he will be better than me, or I don't want her to think that he will be better than me. So they put themselves into under pressure. Because why? The root cause is that their parent has established competition between them, not a relationship that makes them to just accept themselves for who they are and love themselves for just who they are. Because at the end of the day, beyond materialistic things, what else is it? So if I don't, does that mean if I have all the materialistic, like I have houses, I have cars, I have companies, what happened if my company, just like COVID, if everything disappeared tomorrow, if my sense of self-worth is tied to what I've achieved, just like now this COVID time that everything, people have lost their job, their home, a lot of things. So that actually sent a message to each other that you've lost who you are, because your self-worth was tied to those things that you own. So now that those things are no longer available, means you're nobody. So what you are is what you were having. So that is one of the things. And another thing, that when a parent criticizes a child so much, when a parent criticizes a child so much, it creates a spirit of enviness, because the child can try his best just to cover up of that self, or that limiting belief, or that belief system that the child has formed based on the way the child was abused, criticized when he or she was growing up. So the child will grow up and start trying to be like over perfectionist and overachiever. So no matter what the child can even achieve, there's still element of emptiness. There's still element of not fulfilled. So the child will always be watching to see who is doing better than him or her. And another thing that also creates jealousy in children, when a child grew up in a culture whereby the parent, they're always focusing on, I want to show off. I want to show this neighbor that I have this. I want to show that neighbor that I have that. I want to show my sister. I want to show my brother that I have better than them. I have this than them. So it actually just makes children confused. It makes children just lose it, because they don't understand what's going on. So now they start thinking that that's the norm. That's the reason why you see many society, they have high rate of anxiety and depression, because they grew up in a toxic culture that fortunately they don't understand their sense of self-worth, because they tie into material things, which make them to compete a lot with other people, because they cannot be happy, they can't be contented, they can't be satisfied, because they grew up in a culture that says, I want to, let me show off to those people. Let me show them that I've got more than them. Let me show them that. So children don't need that. A child needs to feel that they're okay, be themselves. Because the more you accept who you are, the more you notice that you don't suffer any anxiety. The more you can bounce back, the more you can adjust, the more you can cope. Because you just know that it's okay. I didn't have to. So whatever happens tomorrow with me, I can adjust and I can just be okay. So what if I grew up in a culture, a child grew up in a culture that when you no longer have that immaterial life anymore, it means that, ooh, it's a shame. So what happened? There's so much pressure. The child cannot adjust. The child cannot accept when the uncertainty happen. So it's very, very important for us to love our children, encourage our children to do good with themselves, but not under pressure that creates jealousy or that it becomes unsatisfied with oneself or achievement. This is LJ Motivate for you. If you like the video, please don't forget to subscribe.